Hello. Huskies back again with more New York Rangers franchise mode commentary in NHL 18. Last video we had a very lackluster offseason. I guess would be the best way to put it. I expected to have a kind of boring offseason, but it ended up being anything but. Phew, man, we're looking a little rough right now. I mean, we've got some big names that can put points on the board, but unfortunately, what comes with that is a lot of cap hits and needing to cut costs. Now I know there's a request to put the man, the myth, the legend as our first line center, and I'm very hesitant to do that, but as the season goes along, you know what? McDavid's been struggling. Fuck it. Let's try something new. We haven't won a cup yet, so what's the worst that can happen? Curry's an 86. Let's try it. Shore and Husseis on the first line with Mayer. Let's give it a go. We're coming up near the end of this run. We have 2 seasons left, so let's have some fun with it. Let's try Devin Shore on the first line. He was a 30-goal scorer 3 seasons ago. See if he can find that form again, or at least be a 50 or 60-point guy. Alright, first period, Joe Veleno. You motherfucker. I'm pretty sure Veleno, this was the GM mode I had Veleno. Of course he scores, but Mayer, Mahar, I always call him different names every video, and McLeod get on the board. Alright, it's alright, it's 2-1. Half decent start, 2-1 after 2. So we got 2 seasons left, and then I'm going to kick off my fantasy draft GM mode. I have a couple of teams made. I had planned on putting a video together, but Prime Week at Amazon meant overtime, and I just would come home, sleep, and go back to work. So, but I've got some free time coming up next week. So sometime nice, Connor McDavid, Richmond scoring the shootout to take game 1. Sometime between Wednesday and Friday, you'll get an options video to vote on in terms of what team we're going to use. And I'm still trying to figure out just how I want to incorporate the fans. I feel like what I might do is I might put together 2 or more like sets of positions that I have to look for in each round. Like, let's say in the first 5 rounds I have to draft a goalie, 3 forwards, and a defenseman. And then another option would be 5 rounds, 3 defensemen, a goalie, and a forward. And then another one would be 2-2-1, 2 forwards, 2 defensemen, 2 goalies, or 1 goalie. So something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. Anaheim Ducks a third. No. And I'll do that for the first 20 picks. I'll do 4 sets of draft picks. But see, the way I would want to do that. But see, if I do it that way, the team would be so. You would want to draft you'd want to know what positions you're drafting for based on what you've already picked. So if I were to do that, my thought process was do the 5 position thing as 1 video. I'd make 5 picks, and then the next video you would at the end of it you would vote for Klimchuk, for Eminger. No, thank you. You would vote on the next set of forwards based on what I drafted, because the video would have the draft picks. But since there's no way for me to save a fantasy draft like mid-draft, that wouldn't work. Like, in theory, that idea works if I could pause the draft, but I would have to leave my Xbox on constantly. And while I don't mind doing that, I don't have the trust in NHL to not freeze over that time span. But I like the idea of doing, like, maybe what I do is I put up a poll and I keep the position thing where I just say I have to draft this many forwards in the first 10 picks, or I have to draft this many defensemen in the first 10 picks. I don't know, man. I'm a little lost on how I should do this, but let's look at our team. Mahar, 28 points, leading the team in points. He's not real high up there. Woo! Devin Shore, 11 points. First line forward, 11 points. I'm not going to move him just yet because we're winning, and if we're winning, we're doing all right. The rest of the team, I mean, he is a +4, so that first line is doing all right aside from him. Him and Huselius has 21 points, 16 assists. Mahar has 28 points, 17 goals. McDavid has 27 points in the second line, playing with McLeod and Arkhipov, who are both just pretty much setting him up. Third line, Richmond has 12 points. I kind of want to try Richmond on the second line and move McLeod down to the third line, actually. So let's go do that. I know that Devin Shore on the first line makes no sense, but it was requested. I'm kind of, honestly, I was interested to see how it worked. We're winning games. Surely it's got to be because the team itself is. So let's try this. Let's try Richmond, McDavid, and Arkhipov. And let's put McLeod with McLeod and Rankin. But yeah, I don't know if I like that. There's no goal scorer in that third line now. I mean, Todd McLeod had 9 goals. Mark McLeod should be able to score. So let's give it a try. Let's see how it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'm not going to touch that first line. That first line is going to stay the same. I want to see Devin Shore get to 40 or 50 points. I mean, we're 4th in the division. We have 46 points. We're a wildcard team, but we're only 5 points behind the Hurricanes. We're 21, 12, and 4. Our offense is down a little bit, but our defense is good. We have the second best defense in the division. Only behind the Blue Jackets because they've got one more game played than us. Or one less game played than us, I should say. Our power play is good. Our penalty kill is good. So I mean, we're struggling on the road. If we can pick up our road record here, and if we could just find some a little more consistency in our offense, I think we'll be set. But I mean, this is kind of punishment for McDavid, taking him off the first line because the guy vanished in the postseason last year. I mean, most of our team vanished in the postseason. Like, it's not like it was. You're not playing at all. Alright, never mind. So this is kind of maybe a wake-up call for McDavid. Maybe in our 10th season, we'll put him back on the first line. But I mean, if we win a cup with Devin Shore as our first line center, he's not going anywhere. He's absolutely locked in for life as the first line center of the New York Rangers. I don't care if that's smart or if it's dumb. But if we win a cup, it obviously was smart because it worked. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Currently, we have to make the postseason, and if our offense oh boy, that was our defense. If our defense slips up like it is now, we're gonna struggle. 10-1. All right, so our defense vanishes, but our defense comes back strong. The same game, their offense realizes, all right, we're supposed to put the puck in the net. 10-1. Then we lose 5-4. So we're on a bit of a rough stretch here. We won 10-1 and 8-2. Those were our 2 wins in our last 8 games. They were blowouts. I want to leave Shore as that first line center, but come trade deadline, if we're on the outside looking in terms of a playoff spot, I might put McDavid back up there. Because I want to make the postseason. But I don't know how much of a change that's going to make. Because I don't feel like our top 6 is really the issue. Our bottom 6 is what's hurting us right now. Which is surprising considering I have an 87 overall on the third line. That third line should be doing fine. But we're having some struggles here. I mean, we're still 32, 22, and 6. That's not a bad record by any means. I'm kind of hitting and missing with scouting. Brock Nelson, no thank you. I'm gonna stop the sim at the trade deadline. We're gonna go take a look and see how we're doing. See if Shore's got 20 points yet. The guy scoring 30 goals and putting up 55 points should not. I mean, it was definitely an anomaly. That's not something you should expect from him. But he clearly has the ability to. And playing with two fairly good players, that being Huselius and Mahar, he should be putting up at least 45 points. 45 to 50 points just for being on the ice with them at the same time. But I'm going to get past the trade deadline because then the sim will pick up. Let's get to that Ottawa game. Come on. Alright, there we go. Let's stop the sim. 34, 23, and 7. So we're sitting with 75 points. We're still pretty low. Wow, my. Alright, so we have 75 points. We're 9 points. We're 4 points behind the Blue Jackets, but we're 1 point ahead of the Penguins for playoff spot. Atlantic Division. Oh, we've got a 5-point lead on the team over there. So I have pretty confident that we're going to be in the postseason. Our offense is still struggling though. 2.78 goals per, but our defense isn't as good, but it's still pretty good. 2.44. Power play's up with 23%. Awesome. Our penalty kill dropped a bit. Our road record went up, but our home record kind of dwindled. Let's see. Tom McLeod, third line, 55 points leading the team. Mahar, 33 goals, 53 points. That third line, man. I put McLeod down there, and he brought Todd up out of nowhere. He's got 55 points, 64 games. That's pretty impressive. Devin Shore has 21 points. He has a +6. What's his face-off percentage? I know it's a weird thing to look at, but he's got 52% of the face-offs. He's doing. I mean, our centers are doing great face-off wise. He's at 52. McDavid's at 54. McLeod's at 45. Yeesh. Is the other McLeod a better face-off guy? 73. Yeah, he actually is. I could put Mark at center, but they're clearly doing fine. Devin Shore playing 18 minutes per game. Even Ranta down here, 47%. That's not great. All right. But again, plus minuses, man. Shore's a +6. Our third line's +10s. Our second line, +14. Arkhipov. Richmond's got 23 goals. He's got to be a 30-goal scorer, man. To make $7.9 million, he's got to be a 30-goal scorer. If he doesn't score 30 goals or more, I think I said 35. He's got to go. He's absolutely got to go. That cap hit is way too high for that. And when do I have to re-sign Shore? Is it this year? It is. Okay, so we'll get him at a cheaper price. I'm going to stick this out, though. Curry with a 914 save percentage. He's not doing real hot, man. McNeven's got a 930. Curry might be what's letting us down back there. I mean, our offense isn't fantastic, but it's definitely not bad by any means. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's finish up the season. Let's see how we do. I'm loving that third line, though. The McLeods doing work down there. The first and the third most goal, or third and the first and fourth in points on our team. 3 straight wins. I think we need to hit 45 wins in order to guarantee ourselves a playoff spot. So we need to win 6 of our last probably 15 games. I think we can do it. Oh boy. Come on, Dallas. Okay, there we go. Dallas is an easy win. Montreal should be an easy win. Tampa Bay will be tough. Ooh, overtime loss. I will take that. Okay, Boston really fell off. 37, 32, and 8. The only way we missed the playoffs is if there was a Metro team that took off. But I think we're good. I think we're in the postseason. We're going to be a wild card team, I think, at best. We hit them with 45 wins. Yeah, we hit Columbus. Let me stop the sim before I get too close to that. Whew. Alright, so we are, with Devin Shore as our first line center, we are a playoff team. So we got that going for us. Now, did we do good enough to get into it? Oh, wow, we got the third. We had 98 points. Offense was a 2.8. Defense was a 2.4. So our defense actually stayed pretty good right there. Power play 24%. I'm gonna round up. Penalty kill only is 78%. That's not great. I might have to go mess over a penalty kill. Home and away we split pretty well. But we can say that 82 games, Devin Shore as a first line center, we made the playoffs. Mahar 42 goals. McDavid 64 points. Obviously that's going to go down because he's playing on the second line. If he was playing with Mahar, probably would have been much higher. Devin Shore 27 points. I think we've shown that he's not a first line center. I'm going to re-sign him. He's not going anywhere, but he's not going to be a first line center unless we win the cup. If we win the cup, he's got to stay there. But for now, he's probably going to get relegated to the third line, second and third line. But he's going to stay. Huselius had 48 points. Again, not bad. But I don't think he's got the playmaking. I think he's more of a grinder than a power forward, if I'm honest. I mean, I know he's 6'3", but his puck skills aren't nearly high enough to be a goal scorer. And his shot's definitely not either. Surprised he doesn't have more goals. But I guess when you got playing with a 42 goal guy. So how many goals did that first line have? 42, 50, 54. So they had 65 goals, if I did my math right. No, they didn't. I did my math. No, yeah, that is right. Yeah, because that's 23. 65 goals, yeah. Second line had McDavid and Richmond both end up with 27. Now, Richmond, if he would have been on that second line for the entire season, is he a 30-goal guy? Maybe. But there's no way he's worth $7.9 million. He's not. That 36-goal season was definitely an outlier. Kind of like Shore's 30-goal score, the 26-goal season a couple years ago. He's been a consistent, nearly 40-point guy, but I mean, he's definitely a third-line center. If I can get him with a score on the third line, I think we'll be okay. But definitely not a first-line center, so we might have to tweak some things going into our last season. But we are a playoff team. Curry 33 wins, a 914 save percentage, 253 goals against. So if he struggles in the postseason, I'm gonna go to McNeven. McNeven had a great season, 12-4-2 with a shutout, a 932 save percentage, 186 goals against. So if Curry struggles, I'm gonna make the switch to McNeven. I'm not gonna. Where did Mahar finish in terms of the Richard? Let's see. Entire league. Wow, James Van Riemsdyk wins the Art Ross. Oh no, Joe Van Riemsdyk, sorry. Wins the Art Ross. I was gonna say, what? Alexander Barkov. Wow, so they had. Man, they got lucky there. Tyler Seguin, Kucherov, Clarence Ladd with 65 assists. Who's he pass? Oh, he's passing to Seguin. Seguin and Tyravinen? Instead of Tyravinen? Interesting. Oh, he finished second behind Buganecki. Oh, we're going against the Richard Trophy. Awesome. Just awesome. Alright, but that's what I'm going to call it. As always, comments. I can't wait to hear about how Devin Shore is a first line forward, but hey. It was a suggestion, and we're coming up on the end of it, so I figured I might as well try it. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on Tuesday for round 1 of our playoff run with Devin Shore as our first line center.